On a cold November night in 1966, 4 young adults were driving down a lonely road outside Point Pleasant, West Virginia, when their headlights caught something standing near an abandoned World War II explosives plant. At first, they thought it was a man, but as the car slowed and the light fixed on the figure, their confusion turned to terror. The shape was too tall, too dark, too still. And then they saw the eyes, 2 glowing red circles reflecting back at them from the darkness. What happened in the next few seconds would follow them for the rest of their lives. The figure moved. It unfolded massive wings, and without a sound, it lifted into the air and began following their car through the night. They would later say it kept pace with them at nearly 100 miles per hour, flying above the vehicle in complete silence. That night, something entered American folklore. Something that, just over a year later, would be linked to one of the deadliest tragedies in the town's history. In the 1960s, Point Pleasant was the kind of town where doors were left unlocked and neighbors knew each other by name. Nestled along the Ohio River and surrounded by Appalachian forest, it was quiet, ordinary, and far removed from the chaos of the wider world. Just outside town stood the West Virginia Ordnance Works, known locally as the TNT area, a sprawling complex of concrete domes and abandoned structures left behind after World War II. Nature had slowly reclaimed the land, turning it into a maze of trees, shadows, and silence. It was here, in this isolated place, that the first sighting occurred on November 15, 1966, when 2 couples, Roger and Linda Scarberry, and Steve and Mary Mallet, encountered what they initially believed was a large man standing near one of the concrete bunkers. As their headlights illuminated the figure more clearly, they realized it was something else entirely. It stood over 6 feet tall, its body dark and almost blending into the night, with what appeared to be wings folded behind its back. Its eyes glowed red in the reflection of the car's lights, and when it moved, it did so with a sudden, unnatural grace. Terrified, they sped away, but the figure did not remain behind. Instead, it launched into the air and followed them along the road, flying above the car without flapping its wings, without making a sound, as if gliding effortlessly through the darkness. When they reached town, they were visibly shaken and reported the encounter to local authorities. What might have been dismissed as imagination quickly became something more serious when other residents began coming forward with similar stories. Within days, volunteer firemen searching the TNT area reported seeing a large creature lift off and disappear into the trees. More sightings followed. People described a massive bird-like figure, sometimes humanoid in shape, often seen near the old factory grounds or perched in high places, watching silently. Many of the original witnesses did not describe it as a monster. They simply called it a big bird, something enormous and unfamiliar, but not necessarily supernatural. The name Mothman did not come from fear, but from the media. At the time, the Batman television series was popular across America, and one of its villains was called Killer Moth. A local newspaper reporter, perhaps looking for a dramatic headline, coined the name Mothman, and it quickly spread beyond Point Pleasant. What had begun as a strange local sighting was now a national curiosity. As the weeks turned into months, the atmosphere in town subtly shifted. Residents reported strange lights in the sky, unusual animal behavior, and feelings of unease they could not explain. Some claimed the creature was seen near rooftops, along the river, or standing silently at the edge of roads late at night. Whether these reports were fueled by fear or genuine encounters, the town no longer felt entirely ordinary. Something unknown had entered its story. Then, on December 15th, 1967, tragedy struck. During rush hour traffic, the Silver Bridge, which connected Point Pleasant to Gallipolis, Ohio, suddenly collapsed into the icy waters of the Ohio River. 46 people lost their lives that evening. The disaster shocked the nation and devastated the small community. Investigators later determined that the collapse was caused by a structural failure in a single eye-bar link, a tiny crack that had gone undetected and led to catastrophic failure. It was a technical explanation, grounded in engineering and metal fatigue. But for many grieving residents, the timing felt impossible to ignore. In the weeks before the collapse, some claimed the strange creature had been seen near the bridge. After the disaster, sightings stopped completely.